Hey, look, guys, I think we're live. Is it working? In the comment section, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you, or comment if you can hear me. Make sure we're live here. I know if I remember from before, I see some of your comments. Kyler, yes, this is traumatic, taking us back to quarantine at the beginning of this. I don't like it, but we got 18 of you here online with us, so that's awesome. If you want to text some friends, tell them that it's happening. We're here. We're gonna meet just for a few minutes, give you an update, and have Thrive Live tonight, and then I'll give you some announcements. We have some fun stuff coming up. I'm gonna do a prize. We're gonna spin the wheel for a prize. I have a fun little app that we're gonna do some Amazon prizes for you, and then we will give you the last message in the stretch series we've been doing. It'll be kind of an abbreviated one, just hopefully a source of encouragement for you tonight, because that's what we're all about, getting in God's Word a bit and going from there. So thanks for being here again. That's awesome. So let's do this. Who doesn't love prizes? Am I right? So we're gonna do some trivia here to make this happen, and then from there we'll get some people to add to our drawing. All right. So I think I had a icebreaker up here. I have a fun little app that I'm using to do some trivia, and if I can get it to work. All right. Do any of you? Okay, this will be in the comment section. I'll use the first person to comment with the right answer. We'll do like 4 or 5, and then from those 5 people, we'll get a prize going. All right. So let's do the first one. So in the comment section, that's where you'll be making your feedback. All right. So first one, trivia. All right. About what percentage of the human body is made up of water? Okay, easy. So comment, what percentage of the human body is made up of water, for a chance to win some sweet Amazon prizes. I'll give it a second. I know there's a kind of delay here on my end. Ooh, Austin says 70%. I'll let you put your answers in there, and we'll come back and look at those to see who gets the closest. And I'm going to write down our contestants, all right? Hopefully my source of information is accurate, am I right? So you guys don't get mad at me for not knowing my own trivia. But we'll make do, all right? So, all right, so according to my research here, the answer is actually 60%. 60% made up of water. Now, if you might fight me on that, we'll see. But let's see, closest, Kyler said 69, so I think that's the closest I saw. And if I'm wrong, you can correct me on that. So Kyler was closest. You'd be our first contestant. Very nice. Okay. And then our next one up. Lost it. Let me see here. Okay, next question is, this is one. How many slices of bread are there in a classic White Wonder bread? How many slices in a classic White Wonder bread loaf? All right, that's your question. What do you got? How many slices of bread in a classic White Wonder bread loaf? All right, very important information to know, I might say. All right. I'll give you a quick second to do that. Sorry, we're still kind of getting back to used to how to do all this stuff, am I right? Man, I gotta pull up our comments. All right, so got some numbers coming in. The real answer is 22. All right, so I think Ash was on the money. Some others came in close, but the first one to come in right was Ashley. So you can confirm that for me, Austin. So there's our second contestant. All right. The next question is running the app here. How old? Well, no, I'm gonna skip that one. I did push the wrong one. How old was the youngest person to reach the top of Mount Everest? How old was the youngest person to reach the top of Mount Everest? No Googling, all right? I know you're on your computers. No Googling, all right? Let's see what you got. So far, we got Kyler and Ash in the running for an Amazon prize. We got 25 of you watching live. That's awesome. I miss you guys. So glad you're joining us. So we got some more coming on here. All right, so I'm going to go and give you the answer. The youngest person was 13 years old. 13 years old, all right? So let's see who came in for that one. Ooh, Elitris, were you... if I'm looking right here, I think we're the first one, and you said 13. A couple of you guessed the right answer. So, yeah, Elitris, right on the money. Our third contestant. All right. We're going to go through this next couple a little bit faster, all right? Here comes the next one. Ooh, this is a good one. How many licks does it really take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? We'll say you have an average tongue. I don't know amount of saliva or that. That just gets gross, all right? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, all right? For our fourth contestant. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so Austin says 360. Anyone else has some other ones? We'll give a few seconds here. We're going quick, I know. Isabel thinks 18 to 20. That's all? That man, maybe if you like crunch it, man. Lucy says 600. Woo! All right, I'm gonna give you the answer. I'm losing track of who's answering, so Austin, I'm going to let you get a report back to me on who wins it. All right, so let's see here. We got how many licks to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop is 252, according to my research, right? 252 for a licks to the center of a Tootsie Pop. So Austin, let me know who gets that one. Yeah, Danny wants to know who actually... licks it, they just kind of chew them. How many of you guys are just chewers? You just crunch through it, all right? Don't tell your dentist. They don't want to know that. All right, so Austin gets back to me on the winner of that one. Ooh, here's some crazy numbers here, right? You're going to be so much smarter out of this. How many times does the average person blink every day? How many times do you blink every single day, the average person, all right? Let's see how many get close. All right, so as you answer that, how many blinks, okay? And then as Austin gives me the answer to the lollipop question, how about we tell you what the prizes actually are, all right? So let me pull up. I'm going to show you our wheel that we got. I have a fun app here I'll show you. Whoop. So I've loaded several prizes from my awesome Amazon wish list, all right? So once we get to it, we'll spin the wheel once we have a winner, and we'll get there, right? But here are the prizes, okay? We got toilet putt-putt. You saw that if you were in quarantine, a little putt-putt set for around the toilet seat just to pass the time. I got a yodeling pickle. Man, I want all these prizes, honestly. We got a talking TP roll, so when you pull the TP off the roll, it talks or does something. I got bacon air freshener on the wheel. I got finger breakdancing. All right, you get a breakdancing floor and shoes for your fingers, and I think it even plays breakdancing music. All right, and then to relieve some stress, I have a desktop boxing set. All right, little finger boxing with a boxing bag. All right, so these are amazing. You guys definitely want these. So a couple more to go. Austin, I got to look through the questions here. Did we have a winner on the lollipop question? If not, blinks in a day, 19,200. Okay, that's how many times the average person blinks every single day. 19,200. Ooh, Addie, on the money. Did you Google that? I mean, to get that on the money. Kyler, you had 1,900 earlier on. Danny wants to know who blinks. All right. Ash was closest again. Man, Ash is rocking it. All right. So the last one here, last to get on the wheel is, here's the question for you. Let's see what we got. I'll do a different one. Like, I'm just going through it, loads of them, but I got to find a good one for this last one. Okay, here's a good one. How fast can a pig run? All right. How fast can a pig run? What do you got? What do you got for me? So we'll give Addie the blinking prize, I think, on that one. All right. So I'll have you on my list, Addie, for in the running. And the last one, how fast can a pig run? How many of you guys, I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen a pig run distance. You know, you see them run in little spurts. We got 13, 19, 11. All right, so I think I have, the actual answer here is 11. All right, and I saw Josh Buck come in there, the first one to answer 11. Though kilometers, Isabella, you said 17, but 17.7 if you're going to go kilometers per hour. All right, so Josh, I'm going to give you that one. So our 5 contestants for the wheel, I got Kyler, Ash, Elitris, Addie, and Josh. All right, this is how we're going to pick. All right, so I have a random number generator, 1 through 5. We're going to generate a number. Whoever that lands on, you're going to get, then we'll spin the wheel for you. All right, let me see if you guys are... All right, here we go. I don't know what type of pig, John. Sorry. I'm not privy to those details. All right, so let's pick our winner. Taking care. Okay, 5. All right, Josh Buck, you get to win. You get to now spin the wheel of Amazon fortune. All right, so let's go here. I'll pull up the wheel, and Josh, let's see what your fate is for our Amazon prize. All right, so when his wheel is spinning, if you see that on there, what is it? Air freshener, bacon air freshener for Josh Buck. You're welcome. You'll get it in the mail. I know you're excited. All right, once we're back in person, guys, next week we'll do this live. We'll be back live next week, I hope, and we'll go from there. So thanks for playing. That was fun. I hope you got some trivia. Let's move on. So a couple announcements, guys, for Thrive. Glad you guys are here. We wish we were in person, but due to just COVID concerns, we're just not going to take any risk when it comes to your health, your safety. And so there was no one who's directly at risk. So no need to be too concerned, but we just take that step. And again, hopefully we'll be back next week unless something drastic happens. So a few announcements to keep you guys in the loop. Next week is our harvest party, and for that we're bringing back an amazing game we played a couple years ago. It is Humans versus Zombies. All right, we're playing Humans versus Zombies next week. That's going to be the highlight. So this is going to be a great time to invite your friends to we're going to play a game. We're going to have a costume party. All right, so come up in a costume, come ready to play Humans versus Zombies. One of the categories for costume is going to be the most creative mask or use of your mask. All right, proper use of your mask. Okay, so you will be expected to wear that the whole time, but see if you can make a fun mask to go with your costume, and there will be prizes for that. So come with your costumes next Tuesday, invite your friends, and be ready to play some games. We'll be posting some videos explaining rules and everything, so you're set to go for next week. But it's going to be a ton of fun. If you remember a couple years ago, running down the basement, it got kind of creepy. We had some music and sounds, and it was legit. All right, so it's going to be a great time playing that together. Bible studies are happening. We had our first ones last Thursday, and I know the sign-up process has been kind of hard. We had a few guys show up, so Thursday night at church, 6:30 to 7:30. Show up. We have 2 rooms available, so you can still join this week, and it would be great to have you there. So just show up, and we'll get you added to our Jonah study. If not, we'll keep plugging you guys in for opportunities to do Bible studies. For those of you who did the Life in 6 Words Bible app Devo, that was a lot of fun. Thank you for those that left comments and gave your thoughts each day. So what we'll do, we'll probably give it a week, and then we will bring back another one. All right, and then we'll start doing those Devos every once in a while. Invite you to join, and then in between, we hope that you're in the Bible app or in the Word just on your own. But we know sometimes it helps to have the group effort and just doing it together. So we'll keep giving those opportunities. So let's see what else we got. Girls, all right, we have a fun opportunity for you. We have a Halloween party for you guys. It's going to be, you're going to be doing caramel apples and decorating pumpkins, either carving or painting them. And that's going to be on, well, I wrote it down. It's going to be from 6 to 8:30. And I'll have one of my leaders comment. I believe that's, what day is it actually on? I totally just missed the actual day that you guys plan to do it. So I'll let you guys comment. One of you leaders watching, fill me in. My brain's kind of scattered. So, but girls, it'll be a fun time. All the girls in Thrive. We'll have a sign up tomorrow online, and we'll email it out to parents. We'll have you sign up so we can make sure we have enough supplies for you, and we'll go from there. But it'll blast. Friday the 30th. Thank you, Julie. Friday the 30th is when you guys are when the girls are invited to caramel apple and pumpkin carving and painting, just hanging out, having fun. 6 to 8:30 on the 30th. All right. So I think that's most of the announcements. We have some fun stuff coming up in November. November 10th, we're going to have Thrive After Dark. So we're gonna have a normal Thrive, and then we're gonna hang out a bit, and then we're gonna go back to the bowling alley because we had a blast for our retreat. We're gonna go bowling from probably 9:30 to midnight, and have some different leagues and some fun stuff planned. So mark that on your calendar. November 10th, we're gonna have Thrive After Dark. So with that, I think that covers all our announcements, everything I wanted to go over, and it's fun watching you guys comment and go back and forth here. And we do miss you. Wish we were able to worship and play games in person, but at least we have this system to kind of fall back on, Thrive Live. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to utilize it too many more times, but it's where we're at. So for now, just like before, the next couple minutes, we'll ask that maybe you kind of lay off on all the chat session back and forth and just kind of focus in. We're going to finish up our stretch series, and I think it's been a great series from where we're at from retreat and looking at what it looks like to grow in our faith. I think it's been challenging and rewarding altogether. So I'm just going to pray, and we're just going to do a couple minutes. Hope it's encouraging to you guys, and that you still get a taste of Thrive this Tuesday, even though we're not in person. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for everyone that's watching right now. I wish that we were in person, but I thank you that we have the opportunity to still connect, to have some fun, and just be encouraged. So I pray that we would just feel your presence right now, that we'd be able to get together next week, and you just keep us safe, and that you'd be working and growing our faith during this time. You use this series, you use life group times, conversations we have with each other, just to be challenging us to grow deeper, to trust you more, and to see you work in some awesome ways. Amen. All right. So first question, I'll leave this open for some chat, but who's pulled a muscle before? And if so, just comment what you've pulled. All right. That's a painful process. And I've pulled a muscle before, and it's thrown me off. I've been trying to run this week. I got up to 4 miles running, so that felt good. It was pretty tight. I remember one time, I think I pulled a muscle like in my neck, so I had to like I couldn't turn my neck, and I had to look around like the robot. That was really annoying. But if you pull a muscle, man, it really kind of puts you out of commission. And sometimes it comes from trying too hard. I remember one time I went on this spurt where I was going to work out, and I was going to do it hard, and I just jumped all in. My buddy and I went to the courthouse, and we did this like burnout workout. But I remember like my arms were so done. I don't know if it was necessarily pulled, but I couldn't even hold a phone to my face. Like I had to like get it up there and just use my neck to cradle it. That was pretty bad. So yeah, it looks like you guys did some hamstring. Oh yeah, the groin. That's a painful one as well. Hamstring. Yeah, that's painful. But at least you can identify with me a bit here. If you're familiar with, I was going to show a video tonight. If you've ever watched, I mean, you could probably look this up. You just look up stretcher fail. And there's a video of this guy that gets, soccer guys are, sometimes they flop. All right, let's be real. They flop all the time. But sometimes they get injured and they have to bring out the stretcher. And this guy tries to get loaded up. And the guys carrying just keep dumping them off. And they try and they keep going. And it's like so painful to watch. But they just fail. But you got to give him credit because he persists. But I don't know if you guys ever had an opportunity where you've tried something and then like it seems like it should be easy. Maybe you've picked up a Rubik's Cube and you're like, oh, I can figure this out, no problem. But it doesn't go how you think. If you've tried to start something new and it just doesn't pan out and it feels like you fail. I bet we can all identify that regardless of what we've pulled a muscle and it's stopped us in our tracks from doing what we want or whatever it is. But for the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about faith and how that connects to how we grow. And I think this final piece is how we deal with failure. All right. So we first challenge you guys to make a commitment just to grow. Just commit to grow what God wants to do in your life. And then we talked about how we making new habits. We have to start something new sometimes to get that going. And there's plenty of things in Scripture where God gives us a path, things to try, things to add to our faith, to our Christian walk and relationship with Him. And then sometimes that means we have to let go of old habits. We had the jar to reach into, and once you grabbed onto that, we can't actually get our hand out. And the same thing with life. Sometimes we're holding on so tightly to something that we can't let it go, and it keeps us from grabbing onto what God actually has for us. Because when we decide to grow our muscles, when we decide to step out in faith, to grow, whatever it is, the reality is we're going to meet some resistance, right? If it's working out, whatever it is, you start something new, the commitment you make might just feel less exciting. Give it a couple of days and all of a sudden it's like, well, I don't know. If you committed to the stretch challenge, like how many of you guys actually have been stretching faithfully this whole time? Or did it kind of last a few days and then you stopped stretching, you forgot about it, whatever it is. You started the Bible app Devo and you got 2 days in and then you stopped. Maybe at retreat, you're like, hey, I'm going to talk to a friend about the gospel. And you started a conversation, but then it never really finished and it was kind of awkward, so we just let it lie and then we didn't start any new conversations. Or we pick up, maybe we let something go, but we picked it back up, an old habit, or how we talk to people, or some thought patterns going on in our brain. But when we fall, I feel like we can all identify most likely we're feeling shame, we feel hopeless, we feel defeated, and sometimes we just plain give up, all right? I know I've been there. And so today, the main thing, I want you to think about failure differently. Failure ultimately is the opportunity to grow in your faith, to stretch. How you deal with failure just determines so much. And there's so many, if we look in the Bible, there's tons of major characters. Let's pick some. So Moses, okay, he was chosen to lead God's people out of Egypt, okay? But he was a terrible public speaker, all right? And he killed somebody. So in our book, that's some major failures, right? Sarah, she was told by God that she was going to she was in her old age going to have children still. And she laughed in God's face. And she ultimately took things in her own hands, took control, did it her way. And some pretty big failure. David, man, we love looking at David in the Psalms and the stories of all his adventures. But he failed, right? He took advantage of a woman, had her husband killed in battle. some huge failures. But then if we look back again, all these failures in the Bible of heroes, that's not the end of their story. Moses, his faith was stretched when he saw how God could use him. And despite his past mistakes and even his present fears, you see how God works, and he was a friend of God, which is incredible. Sarah's faith was stretched when she discovered God not only forgave her, but he lived up to his promise. All right. David, his faith was stretched when he allowed God to experience, when he allowed him to experience both the grace and the justice for the wrongs he committed. And man, in the New Testament, we had Peter. Okay, he denied Jesus 3 times, right? And he ends up being used by God in huge ways, and God keeps his promises to him. Huge leader in the church. So first, I want you to think this: when you think failure, don't fall in the trap of thinking it's the end of your story. Okay, failure is not the end of your story. All right, and that's kind of the main thing I want you to hear. That's not the end of your story. Because I think what we'll find, if you want to look at what Paul says, you can look at Romans 7:15-25, Romans 7:15-25, and he talks about his own struggle. And I think from that we can kind of find 2 similarity things that most of us will fall into. All right, we either fail to stop. All right, we know we're supposed to stop, but we just can't stop messing up. Maybe there's a pattern or something we just always give into. We know we shouldn't, but we just keep failing. We fail to stop. All right. And the second thing that we're going to find in common here is that we fail to start. Okay. We try to start doing things new. We know we should, but we just keep failing to actually start that new practice. And so what do we do with that? All right. It gets frustrating, right? There's a video I was going to play. There's like these 2 guys, they're running an Olympic, I think it's a marathon, and he's in first place, and he's running, but he gets to the end of this race, the last like half mile, and his legs literally just stop functioning. He's like stumbling, he's losing control, he can barely stand, and his brother is in second place, comes up from behind, the Brazilian runner, he's come up, he passes him, but his brother, instead of, he could have taken second place, he grabbed him arm in arm, and he carries him to the finish line. And when he gets to the finish line, his brother would have been first. And this is his older brother that comes alongside him and picks him up. They get to the finish line, and he literally pushes him over the finish line, so he finishes second. And the older brother takes third. And it's this beautiful picture, I think, of what failure looks like. We get to the end of the race, we're trying to deal with something, and we just can't seem to control what's going on. And all we want to do is to give up. But we all need someone who's going to be that brother who comes alongside and pushes us to the finish line. So I'm going to give you 3 things to do with failure, and then we'll be done. All right. So before you fail, get community. We've talked about community a ton. All right. A lot of you guys chatting right in our tonight. You connect. We have life groups. We provide all kinds of opportunities because it's important. So before you fail, get a community. Before you stumbling. So when you start, you have those people around you to help you succeed, to celebrate you, but they're also there to help you across whatever finish line you're facing and needing to get through. When you fail, fall on Jesus, all right? Often when we fail, we let those negative thoughts just rush in, take over, where we just think terrible things about ourselves, or we blame other people, or we pick up bad habits and we allow destructive things to come in. But what does it look like to fall on Jesus? Paul knew that Jesus is the only one that could rescue him from himself. And the same is true for you, for me. When you fail, fall on Jesus, all right? And we often think that we have to have things cleaned up. We think he's going to be disappointed because that's how we deal with people who fail. We're disappointed, right? Or we've disappointed someone, and we hate that. And we think that that's how God works, but it's not, all right? When we fail on him, he's there to meet us. He's there to carry us, to provide us. He is strong in our weaknesses. It's incredible. And then thirdly, when you fail, get back up. All right? Don't stay down. Don't let the fear of failure, I know that's a big one where we're just afraid to fail, so we don't even start. And we allow that to paralyze us. So there's more to your story than the latest or greatest failure, right? There's more to your story than the latest or greatest failure. Because I bet if I say failure multiple things come to your head. You can think of ways you failed right now, just how you've messed up, all right? But can you take those three things? Community, all right? Fall on Jesus, and and get back up when you fail. Get back up, all right? So I hope that's encouraging to you guys. Thanks for those that are stuck through this whole thing. You're watching. We're at 30 minutes. That's kind of where we'll leave it. If you want to talk to a leader, you can text them. They might reach out to you. In the future, if this ever happens again, we'll probably find a way to do some life group meetings through Zoom, just so we still have some connection, even though it's not ideal, because Thrive is community, and we want to make sure that happens. So if you have been following this series, each week we've kind of given 5 areas for you to commit to, right? We challenge you to show up, to follow Jesus, to love God, to love others, or ask questions. And each week we kind of said, hey, commit to this. What is God asking you to step into? And so still, if you look back on some of our Instagram stories, I think they're still out there. You can see all 5 of those. And just think, as we end this series, where is it that I need to work on? Do I need to start something new, let go, show up? There's so many things, but take your faith seriously and allow God to work and grow your faith, because he desires that, because he can stretch your faith by making a commitment, starting something new, letting something go, and he can stretch your faith even when you fail. All right. So that's all I got for you guys. It looks like if any leaders have Zoom links, looks like the freshman girls will be meeting with Julie. The rest of you guys, you can check in as needed. Thanks for watching. I think that's all that we have, guys. So I'm praying for you. I'm excited to keep hearing what God's doing. If you've been sharing the gospel, tell us those stories. We want to hear. And everything that's going on, we're going to keep figuring it out. We're going to keep prioritizing being together. We're going to start one more announcement, I guess. If you're at the retreat, we spent Sunday over at North Block, and we're going to start doing that at the end of the month. Starting in November, the end of November, we're going to have Sundays at First, where we're going to, second hour, which is 11 o'clock, we're going to meet over at North Block as Just Thrive and kind of have some Sunday get together time. So I hope that's exciting to you guys. One more way for us to spend times together. But thanks you guys. We're going to sign off. We'll see you next Tuesday. Come on Sunday if you can. We love seeing you guys on Sunday mornings. We are meeting in person at the church. There's 3 different locations, 2 different hours. So there's a Saturday service. 7 services in 2 days. It's great. But a lot of you guys, I see you in the gym sometimes. I'm the area pastor for the sanctuary, so if you come in there, you'll see me. Otherwise, we miss you. Reach out to your leader, reach out to each other, encourage one another, and we'll see you next week.